Welcome back, folks. This is lesson 23, and as you can see, it's a cathedral, and it's Norwich Cathedral. It is quite old. It's 1096. There were Romanesque features, and the Normans took it over and they sorted it out later, and it's a beautiful building. It's surrounded by trees and buildings, so like things like that, and it is in front. There's the Norwich School sports ground here, in the pavilion, etc. So it's quite a nice, lovely setting in Norwich. It's beautiful. I've done this sketch now. I haven't put any colours up for you because what I want you to do is mix the deepest blue you've got, and we'll have a nice English sky with just blue, like that. Just a blue sky. Well, today's no clouds, it's a perfect day. What more do you want? So that's what we're going to do. There's your sketch. I'll put that over there now, for now. And what I've also done is, instead of masking fluid, I've tried something new this time. I haven't tried it before. This is masking tape. I'll show you what masking tape is like. That's this stuff here. What I've done, I've put it on the tower itself, and I've got my craft knife and just cut along the side there to get the shape of the tower without the sky damaging it. So it might work, it might not work. So we'll see. Anyway, it's quite interesting. We'll see how it goes. Right. First thing I want to do is get my kitchen painting brush out and put some clean water on. I'll slacken the dust that will, won't it? By the church, or the cathedral I should say. Take it down to there. Down to this side here. So I've hopefully got that wet. Just dry a bit there. It wants wetting all over. There, that gives that wetness all over there. And then what I want to do is introduce some of this blue. This blue right to the top, and of course it's going to be a strong blue at the top, isn't it? Right at the top here. Strong blue. And as we come down the sky, the blue gets paler because it's going into the distance, isn't it? It's got a gradiated sky. All I've got to do now is the paint was on the brush, and it's just colouring the base of the sky there. Down to there. Doesn't matter if we go over the trees slightly there. Be careful here with the church and the cathedral. We'll go to the church. My apologies to the Dean. And that should be it. There's all a variety of greens, so I think that's the next job. Let's get some of these greens in. I'll leave that for a while. Mine, I'll take it off, see what happens. See how lucky we've been, shall I? This is just the masking fluid, masking tape, I should say. Oh yes, it's protected it, look. That's just what I wanted it to do. Lovely. There. That gives me my opportunity to sort out the cathedral when I'm ready. So I think I'll put a few bushes in first. Let's get some of these greens in. Now I use a cadmium yellow and also the blue that I've mixed the sky with, which is this, in this case it's Windsor Blue Red shade what I've used. But let's see how we go. Of course we don't want to mix all the greens at once because they'll all look the same, won't they? So we'll mix a suggestion of greens. I'll mix this up. I'll show you how I'm doing actually. You can see that this is a cadmium yellow. I'll put a touch of this Windsor Blue into it, and you see the colour it goes straight away. It goes quite a nice colour. But test it on your paper before you use it. That's the sacred rule. See if it's the one you want. I want it a bit more yellowy, so I'm going in there like that. The light today is coming from the, let me see, I think from the, let me see what, from the left, I think left, yes, let's go left. But let's get some of these bushes in first, these trees. They're quite big trees actually, these. Just get them in. There's quite a lot of work on that cathedral. It's quite an impressive building. It's got all sorts of twiddly bits on it. I'm sure they've got posh names for it, but I don't know what it is. There are a couple of buildings stuck in there like that. Let's get some of this colour onto here. I'm getting rid of some of this white. Take it down to the horizon line there. I've run out now, which is good because I can mix a bit more now and get a different green, which is lovely. The light from the right, isn't it? That's right. Oh, so the left. So I'm just correcting you, or correcting me, I should say. So I'll put some darks in on the shadow side here. It's a lovely setting. This, you know, and I've walked around this place quite a number of times. It's absolutely beautiful. And to mix these greens in amongst it all, the variety is lovely. Another green here, look, a bit of dark in there. I love doing these greens. It might think it's boring, but believe me, it isn't. And the fact that I have to mix them regular to get different colours, that's even better because you don't get bored painting, just dipping in a green pot and painting with it. That would drive me potty. That would. Trying to create some depth down here. There's another bush in front here. We'll have that a different colour. That's cadmium yellow again. So I've only used two colours so far. That's the sky colour, that's the blue, and the cadmium yellow. Let's see how we go. I might make this a bit more yellowy, this tree. I'm sure there'd be a special kind, but I can't tell you what it is. But it's more yellower than those behind because it's got to stand out a bit. Touch of water on that, it's a bit stiff. It's better. In fact, what I might do when I'm editing it, or if I edit this video, I'll speed this up because you get bore the pants off you just watching me painting green. We'll see how we go. See how long it takes me. There's another green there. The underside, don't forget the lights from the left, isn't it? Or from the right, I can't remember. Which from the left? I hope it's definitely the left. Anyway. Of course, you get the darks underneath the branches as they hang over. There are two little houses poking through there. Try another bit of green there. I'm mixing as I go along, folks, by the way. This is just a little one just here. In fact, I'll have a break from these greens, and I'll just do this one here, then we'll have a break, shall we? We'll do something else. Just to the top of that. And we'll have a break from that. Do something else. Yeah, and in the cathedral grounds, by the way, I don't know if you've heard of it. The nurse Edith Cavell is buried there. A very famous nurse from the First World War, who saved 200 English soldiers from a Belgium-occupied Germany, and she's doing really well and sorting things out and caring for people. But in the end, someone shot her, and told her that the German authorities about, and what do? They executed her. And she's put in the cathedral grounds there. A very famous lady who was a local lady to Norfolk. The terrible times, these wars. A bit more green around that one. On this side here. That's some of the greens over there. Right, I said we'll have a break now. We'll have a different colour, shall we? I'll start on the Cathedral Spire. I like twiddling with them things. See how we go. Let's have a look. See what brush we'll use to start with this one. Perhaps that might do. Of course, the colour is the colour is I like that lovely raw sienna. Or the ochre, as you call it, or we call it. The choice is yours. But I like the raw sienna because it's a transparent colour. Ochre is opaque, and that's why I prefer the raw sienna. Well, that's the difference between them. Let's see how we go with this. That's all right, that colour. Now, we've got to be careful on this bit, haven't we? Pointy bit's a bit delicate, isn't it? I want to paint over this anyway because it's going to be the same colour. Nice and neat at that corner there. This is the undercoat, of course, folks. You know, we're going to sculpture it with darker shades. But with watercolours, don't forget you start light with the lights and then go dark. When you're doing oil paints, of course, it's entirely the opposite, because with oil paints you go dark and then put the lights on afterwards, because it's opaque colour with oils, and you can get away with it. And you can do all sorts with oils that you can't do watercolour and acrylics. This is the most difficult medium because you get less chance of altering it. But for me, I mean, I do more, but for me it's the most satisfying. It's the most challenging but most satisfying. That's a personal choice. And what I don't like about oils is they take so long to dry. You know, you might be ages before you can display a painting or show it people because it's wet through. Mind you, having said that, the Winston developed a stuff which is called water-soluble oil. Now, water-soluble oil, it solved two problems. It allowed you to dry quicker. It was you could mix it with water, and also when you're flying, you have a difficulty flying with oils for the simple reason it's combustible. So water-soluble oils solves that problem, and that developed that technique, and it's quite useful for that. I'm talking rubbish actually. I'm filling these bits in here. I can sit quietly and say nothing, but I thought you might be interested in that bit. I'll paint, instead of messing about, I'll paint over that bit there altogether. Let's put a bit more paint on that. Let's get it washed in. That's it. Instead of messing about with it, I'll wash it in and sort it out with the shades. These stone pillars, well, like pillars, are like spindly bits. And they look so delicate, yet they hold the blooming church up. I mean, the cathedral up. So delicate. The architect, I'm not sure it was, but he made a hell of a good job. I'm going down as far as that because there's a house just in front there. These houses, by the way, they're much sought after in the grounds there. A lot of people who are at the college live in them, and of course the clergy and that they have some as well. So it's just quite interesting. In fact, it's interesting the way this stuff is splashing about. If I don't get it off, I saw some birds around the cathedral there. Ooh, just missed it. We're talking. Anyway, I'll leave that. That's an undercoat just to dry a bit now, and we'll tattle something else while we're doing that. So I think we'll have some of these buildings here. They've got Pantal roofs. And Pantal roofs, a colour called burnt sienna is a lovely colour for this. It's a good Pantal colour. I'll show you what it is if you. It's that one there. It's that one. That's the raw sienna. That one there, that dirty looking yellowish colour, but it's a beautiful colour. But this is Pantal colour. Burnt sienna, it's called. So I'll put that back down because I've got two hands. We'll see how we go with that, shall we? So I've got some little. Well, I might change the size of the brush there to get to these bits. Let's. There. They just stuck out of that little bit there. That bit comes down there. I might stick a window in there just to give it a bit more interest. But let's see how we go with these. That's part of the cathedral there. And the building there's a building, that one. I'll put the roof on first. This one here. This one here. I'll paint the chimney as well. Paint the chimney on that one. Right, so I'm coming across. The walls are sort of brickwork, but I'm going to use the same colour. But I'm going to thin it down a bit to get a different shade. So I'm going to put water into that. That's all I'm going to do is put water in and just give us a paler shade for here. That's what separated from the roof, you see. It's there. There's one down here. I'll just take that down if I can. Just, it's a bit strong there. And this front one here. I'll put the windows in when we finish blocking in, if you like. Be easier. I'll go over this side now, and we'll have a go at this side. I'm right-handed, so I'm working left to right. Don't forget, change it if you're the other way around. So these are little ones here. They're a bit fiddly, but I'm sure you can. I have full confidence in you. You can do this. Chimneys again. Of course, in these days, when they built these things, the status symbols were good chimney, big chimneys, you know. Now they have Mercedes and posh cars and things like that. Well, then it was a chimney. Once you go around the country and look, if you see some really ornate chimneys, that was a sign of wealth. You didn't think it was going to be educational, this as well, did you? I'm a mountain of useless information. Absolutely. There's another chimney at the back there, like that. It's quite busy around here. Well, they're not doing any building in there. You know, that's sacred ground. They don't mess about. No way. It's quite interesting because the way they built this cathedral was from the river Wensum, which flows past this. They dug a channel from the river right up to the base of where the cathedral is, and they called it Pull's Ferry. It's still there, still very famous it is. And all the stonework which came from Normandy, because it's built by Normans, a lot of it, is transported by ship across from Normandy, and that's the way they brought it through. They built a special canal to do it. Fascinating, really fascinating. Let's get this one down here. Trying to vary these roofs a little bit. I want to put a touch of dark on this. That's the burnt umber stuff, and put a bit of age onto it. They all look as though they've just been built by a wimpy. We're not having that. So there's the lights from the right. So this sort of thing, you get this. Touch of age on the back end there. The pan tiles are on the bottom there. I tell you, it was a fiddly one, this, isn't it? You might give this one a miss, I bet. We'll see anyway. I'm sure you've got confidence to do it. That's on the left hand side. Touch on the left hand side of that. It's not going to be talking all the time because I'm just talking rubbish. So I'll just, I might block a lot of this out because it's a bit samey. That's that. For another few rows in there, and I might have another go at that. Them bushes again then. One just here. Crikey, I didn't realise there was that many houses in this place. Calm them down a bit with a bit of dark. There's how old is that one. It's still wet, so it's running into it. That's lovely. That's what I want. Put some age onto them. Chimney. Dark on that. How many more of these now? Just that chimney there. I wish they'd gone smokeless. We could have left these chimneys out then. So I shouldn't complain really. There's this one in the front here. This is the cricket pavilion. I could have put a roof on that. That'd be nice. Nice bright roof, that one. And the beauty of this is the two colours I'm using is they're complementary. The greens complement the siennas and that. It's lovely. The browns and the greens, complementary colours. Nothing but the best for you lot. This is another part of the pavilion. I might leave them painted snow stem. The buildings to look a bit brighter. That's the beauty of art's got over photography. With photography, you've got to put in the telegraph pole and all sorts. With art, you can even change the colour of buildings and all sorts. You can really have fun. There's a paler tone on here. They'll blend in when I get some trees around them. That's a bit wet, that now. I have to be careful there. I'll make that that pavilion, I'll make it a bit more weathered. It's too nice. It's been there a while. See, I'm just using that burnt umber and a touch of that blue I've got there to make it a bit dirty, if you like. Weather it a bit like that. Don't want to spend too long on it, or be till midnight. Right, I think I'm just I'll leave that bit. I better get it. Well, before I do that though, this is a wall at the front which is separating the cathedral grounds from the cricket pitch. So we'll put a bit of a wall in here. We haven't used many colours yet, have we? So that's the wall there. That's not the cricket ball going into the ground and hitting the deed or whatever it does. Right, that should be alright. And there's some here. Let's stick a little bit of a suggestion of a window in there, and one in this one here. They're not, you know, important, but they're there. There's a couple on this roof here like that. Some on that one there. Some in there. It just makes them look more like buildings as opposed to just panel things. To the lower window there. It's a double decker, this one. Cost a fortune. Just see one just there. A bit of a dark on that. I want to put some darks on the shadow side of them chimney pots. Make them look a bit more three-dimensional. So right, it's dark there. No more windows around there. Now, we'll have one in the end here. That'll do. I bet you're looking forward to this one. Got a roof on there. Got like a sticky out bit, that one. Right, there's some windows in this pavilion. We better put them in. But too big, that there's not to use a rigger, I think. Three on that one, that's where the scorer sits. You need more windows. I'll make them a bit bigger on the side there. Just here. I'll put some big ones in this. It's a bit fiddly, but I say if you're careful with it, it'll look better in your picture when you've done it. Now when you're doing them, if you put a little bit of, suggest a touch of dark in the top of these window frames, because the light's coming from the top left, isn't it? That's right. So we're going to get some darks underneath here. Down that side. That's being dark. It's a bit too far away for that to fiddle with. Right, that's coming on there, coming on there. Missed that, that's that, that's that. Do a bit of dark on that. This chimney here. Pantel roof, that one. Little twiddly bits on the end. And this one. Right, I'm going to have some greens again now, folks. Let's have a go at greens. We've had a break, haven't we? Let's get some greens cracking again. I see, I better make sure. We'll see how we go, anyway. And while that's still wet, I think I'll put some darker green in there, where the shadows are. Some darks in here. It'll be dark in that, we're still wet there, it's dark in the undergrowth as the trees go under. It's fiddly, but it's worth it, folks, I'll tell you. Trust me. Next one I do, I'm going to one with lots of washers, so it's easy. I'm sure you like easy ones. I'm changing what I'm doing with this is putting a bit more cadmium, there's some winter blue in there to darken the underside. To give where the branches are, it gives you a bit of shape there, instead of just a blob of green. There's a tree in front of that there, see, and there's another one here. If I'll take this one down to here, that one. And we'll have that nice and juicy dark in the bottom, I think. It comes down to here. That's lovely. It gives it a bit of separation from the others. Right, this one in front. This is a nearer tree to us. We'll better put this in quite strong. And this is, I'm going to put some cadmium yellow on this one. More cadmium yellow to make it a more yellowy tree. Like this. Actually, this tree here, it could be. I've got one in the garden like this. It's called a. Oh dear me, I've forgotten its blooming name now. It's a maple, and it's a variegated maple, and it comes out with very pale green colours in spring. It's absolutely stunning. It is. The rest of the year, it's not too clever, but in spring, it's magnificent. I'm not a gardener, but my wife's Carol's. She's a gardener. But I do get interested in what's happening to them. But she's the expert. I mean, crikey. Right, light from the left. Dark down the bottoms here. But your tree looks three-dimensional instead of two-dimensional by putting some darks in. That's where the light hits the top of the tree, and then the underside of these branches are in shade. Right, these little ones here, get these in, and then we can put the green brush away, can't we? I've had enough of green today. Let's put some of this in. I'm doing these paler to vary from those at the back there. I'm going the groundsman here. Blimey, hell of a job. Put one in just here. Put a nice and yellow with that one, I think. That could be a Rabinia, pseudoacacia. By Jove. Eat your heart out, Alan Titmarsh. You even get the Latin names for them. Got some dark in the bottom. Shadow side. Nearly there, folks, nearly there. I said we're finished with green. We've got the cricket field to paint yet. Not to worry, we'll soon rattle that off. Don't you worry. We'll get it done. Let's see what colour grass we want first. I'll just test it. Oh yes, that'll do for the grass. A bit more water in there. Thin it out a bit. That'll do. Most of the paper is covered now, folks, but we've got the cathedral to do yet. I say it's a long job, this one. I bit off more than I could chew in the time available, but we'll sort it. We will do it. Don't you worry. So let's put a trunk into that tree, or it's not going to fall over into under the cricket field. We'll have a nice dark colour. This is the burnt umber with some French altar in it. Just a touch of that to give me a dark. Don't want lots, only a little trunk. That's this one down. It's standing. It's quite a firm tree, so it's. That's it. I don't want to do too much on it. Right. Now then, we want to have a go at this cathedral. I want to mix some shadow colour, because I think the shadows will help on this. If we get the shadows right, the whole painting will come together then. This is the nice shadow colours is French ultramarine with some burnt umber in there, and that will give you a nice transparent shadow. Just see how we go with that. Test it on your paper, make sure it's what you want before you commit yourself. Let's just have a test. Perhaps a bit darker there. Let's see how we go. Right. I'm going to start with the pointy bit at the top and just hope that my fingers are steady. Because the light's from the left, isn't it? So that piece is going to be in shade there. Just down to there. Right to the edge. The side of this one here will also be in shade, won't it? And this one. on this one here. It's also got some, I'll put them later, there's a little window and that in here. But these are all defined by shadows, these indentations here. And that inside here, this is a bit tricky. It's a shady area. And of course these stone pillars or angled pillars cut across it. They're like that. So we've got to depict this without mucking up the pillars as well. A tricky building, folks, a tricky building. But I have full confidence in you, you'll do it no problem. You'll be proud of this one. When you show your neighbours, blimey, they'll be staggered. They'll swear blind you haven't done it. You tell them. Boy, this is fiddly. I don't tend to do fiddle, but who picked this one? Right, there'll be a shadow under. That there. Right, now the sides of these little strutty things, they will also have a shadow on them, won't just here. Don't forget them. Got a window up there, believe it or not. One on this side. A point on the top. Right, some shadows on these buildings as well, so I mustn't forget them as well. Blimey. See what we've got. Light from the left. We've got a shadow under that eaves there. One under that one. We'll get one under that one there. That one will be in shade here. In fact, that one will be. Let's put this in shade while we're at it. That'll be in shade. That will be in shade there. That one will. The pavilion, let's see, this end panel will be in shade. Things about this shadow, you see what I said about transparent, it's allowing the colours of the windows to shine through, which is just what we wanted. Now that overhang there from the pavilion will cast a shadow down there, and this one will. Where the sun catches it, it goes down. Let me just straighten that up a bit, that doesn't look very straight. A little bit dark under there. About a touch of dark. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with people. It'll take too long, folks, today on this. But I think I'm looking for things to do now, and that's the time to stop. I'll just get another overhang there. That'll sort that out. Overhang there. You try to remember everything while you're painting. There'll be overhang on that one. And of course this, because the light from that angle, we'll also get a shadow from this tree here, won't you? A shadow from that building there. You probably get a shadow from this here, down here. Dappled light on there. Stop. And that, folks, is Norwich Cathedral. A bit of a more difficult one than usual, but I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like or whatever you do, and then I hope you've enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and it's goodbye from me until next time. Bye bye.